Hi, I'm Chris McNamara, founder and CEO of Pathway CTM. I'm your host for today's podcast with Build Torbay. We are going to be speaking to Ben and Mike from South Devon College. They've got some amazing opportunities in construction. I would encourage you to go and check out the college. They've got great open days where they get to introduce you to different employers that they work with. So yeah, great college if you want to get into construction. Give it a listen. Ben, if you want to start just by introducing who you are and what your role is.
Yeah, thanks very much. So I'm Ben Pountney. I'm Head of Business Solutions and Apprenticeships at South Devon College. And I'm joined by my colleague Mike.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Mike Pruden. I'm one of the programme coordinators for construction at South Devon College.
Amazing. Thanks so much for joining us. And this will be going out to lots of young people. When I say young people, it could be adults as well, just finding out about what's going on. When I say Build Torbay, what does that mean to you gents?
Okay, yeah, so it's an organisation that we're really close, or work really closely with, we're really proud to be a part of. And for me, it's about bringing everyone that's involved in any form of construction across Torbay together, hopefully for the greater good. And to kind of build and create an excitement about working in construction, about providing skills for life to people. So yeah, that's it really.
Love it. And Mike, I guess you're in charge of some of the aspects of delivery in the college, and you actually probably help people get into the sector, is that right?
Yeah, that's essentially, one of the main part of our job is to try and get people interested within the area. And then it's about managing that journey from that initial interest onto getting onto an apprenticeship or onto a full-time course, and then getting themselves out into the industry, which is what, that's the journey that we're on.
I love it. We, as part of this podcast series, we also interviewed David Carter from Torbay Council, who is Director of Regeneration. What would you say, like, if we were just talking to anyone on the street today, why should they get into construction, in your opinion, Mike, first?
It's a really rewarding job that you can do. Construction in the whole is a massive industry, so it's not just on the tools. You could do whatever you wanted within the construction industry. So whether you wanted to work in design or within an office or within management, or as it's a physical thing, or you wanted to drive machinery or whatever, there is a role for everybody. So, it's an industry which is gaining traction. We need more people, essentially. It's the long and short of it within that, and there's an option for everybody.
And Ben, I guess you work with employers and obviously young people as well. If a sector needs more people, surely that means I've got more chance of getting in and doing well.
Absolutely, yeah. And you only need to wander around Torbay. There are construction sites absolutely everywhere at the moment, so there's definitely lots of opportunities. Spending time with employers at the moment, when you talk about construction, you might think about the traditional trades, but we're seeing or spending lots of time talking to employers now about digitalisation within construction as well, and loads of kind of new opportunities there. The whole kind of green agenda is kind of really coming to the fore within the construction industry, so loads of opportunities, and we know that young people are really interested in sustainability, so that feels like a real great opportunity as well.
Yeah, I love it. So in terms of the college, how do you work to help people into the sector? Like in terms of, if I know nothing about your college, know nothing about the sector, how do you help me?
Okay, yes. So first and foremost, South Devon College, as you say, is located here in Paignton. We've got roughly 10,000 students with us at any one time, and about 1,800 of them are currently apprentices. So we've got a big apprenticeship provision. We have a dedicated apprenticeship team. We have apprenticeship coaches that work within the curriculum team as well. We also have our business solutions team, who are kind of here to help employers who are looking to take on apprentices as well. We hold regular open evenings, which are a great opportunity to kind of come along to the college. We've got a new and exciting format where you get to go and kind of see all the workshops and do some sample activities with us as well, which is brilliant. We've also got our Careers and Employability Centre active within the college as well, who work really closely with anyone who's kind of looking to get an apprentice, and they can potentially support with things like CV writing, those kind of things. We also have our kind of dedicated apprenticeship coaches that work in the curriculum teams. They are there to kind of work closely with an employer and with the apprentice as well, and kind of bring all three parties together. So loads and loads of support. We also support anyone who's with us kind of in a pastoral way as well. So we're not just talking about kind of things in the workplace. We can help you with kind of all the things that might be happening in life outside of work as well.
Amazing. And there's so many different job roles within construction. I just wonder, do you know how many courses you do offer?
Oh, that's a great question. That's probably one for you, Mike.
So we currently offer painting and decorating, bricklaying, carpentry, plumbing, electrical, multi-trade, I think that's probably.
And our construction operative, our latest
Yeah,
one, the
yeah,
groundworks-based apprenticeship as well.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's it. Yeah, so there is, we've got a wide range which we cover pretty much all the needs of the industry.
Right.
And we've also recently launched our Clean Energy Centre at the college as well. So we've had significant investment and we've spent a lot of time kind of upgrading that. So we've got a whole suite of kind of green construction type courses that are kind of very much a work in progress. But we, from September this year, some of that will start to come to the fore, and over the next kind of 12 months, we'll be introducing more and more. We're really excited about that.
Great, and you do link with employers as well, don't you? Because I'm doing some reading, and Wilmot, Dixon, Milligan, they're really big at the moment in terms of the regeneration around Torbay.
Yeah, we work really closely with a whole range of employers. You've talked about there some of the kind of tier one construction companies, but we also have working links with lots and lots of kind of small and medium enterprises as well. We've got a huge volume of those locally, and we're really proud of the kind of working links that we have with them. We spend a lot of time bringing those kind of businesses into the college as well to come and talk to our students and get them enthused and excited about careers in construction. We work with a whole range of employers. We work really closely, and part of my role is really to make sure that the skills that we're imparting onto our students are those that are really relevant and what the employer actually needs out in industry. So it's absolutely vital that we have those kind of employer links.
I'd say another thing that we're doing quite well is working with the local schools, so secondary schools, to come in and do some have-a-goes, so they can have a go at doing some carpentry, some bricklaying, and really get a feel for it before they take their options. And obviously that could be a route that's available to them within school, but also once they finish their GCSEs and they're thinking, right, what is it I want to do, if they haven't got an apprenticeship, the offer's not quite there, or they're not quite sure what they want to go into, come along, give it a go, and then maybe sign up to one of our full-time courses and then look to progress from there.
Love it. Hey, and Mike, you actually have lived experience. So you were a bricklayer and now you're teaching it. Is that right? Yeah,
that's right. So, I did my apprenticeship the same traditional way, a 3-year brickwork apprenticeship, quite a long time ago now. And then I saw a job advertised to work within the college as a brickwork lecturer, and I saw that and just thought, you know what, I'd quite like to give that a go. And I went and applied and haven't looked back since. So, it's a great job to have.
And Ben was talking about tier one big employers, but then there's also the SMEs, like he mentioned. How do you decide picking between those, or when do you decide?
So the way it usually works is we meet the students, the applicants early on. We talk about what it is they want to do or what they think they want to do. And then straight away we think about the sort of employers that might suit them. Not everybody would be suited to a large company. Some people would work better in a smaller environment. And we've got a bank of employers which come back every year. Usually they come to us and say, look, who have you got? I need somebody that's really keen, really enthusiastic. They don't have to be the best hand skills, but they've got to have that want and that drive. Will they turn up at 6:30 in the morning to get in a van to go off to wherever, somewhere in the South Hams, or do they mind cleaning stuff out? There's a lot of that in the early days where they've really got to put a bit of a shift in. So, so that's where we'll go from there.
And I think it's probably a good time to talk about our kind of introduction to construction element of our programme. So for most traditional trade apprenticeships at the college, we do a 6-week introduction to construction, which we think is a great opportunity for both the employer and the apprentice to kind of get to know one another, make sure that the apprentice is right for that employer and that the employer is right for that apprentice, and equally that the trade that they're doing is exactly what they want to be doing. The thought of being a bricklayer versus being out on site in -2 degrees with a 50-mile-an-hour wind can often be a little bit different when you actually get out there. So that intro to construction time is really vital, Mike.
Yeah, so initially we'll get them into the college for a week and we'll give them all the core skills that they need for that trade. So we do, for carpentry, we'll show them how to handle hand saws, how to mark, measure and cut. For bricklaying, it would be about how to load out, how to mix mortar, all the things that you'd be expected of. So once they go onto site, they've got that little bit of experience. So then, things are not so quite daunting for them.
Yeah.
And then we'll go off and monitor them. We'll regularly speak to the employers or their supervisor. How are they getting on? Is there anything that we need to do? And then at the end of it, if they're right, if the apprentice or potential apprentice has had a great experience and the employers are really happy, then that's when we will transfer on to the actual apprenticeship programme.
So South Devon College are doing quite a lot to get people into the sector. Because I think it's 50,000 people are needed per annum to get into construction. And I don't think we're quite hitting that at the moment, are we?
No, those numbers always sound scary when you say them out loud, particularly when you put them against the provision and the volumes that I kind of talked about earlier. So yeah, we're doing lots, but there's still lots more to do. And I think there's lots of opportunity for us to do more. And I guess things like this podcast are great about raising awareness. We're really keen to raise awareness both with potential apprentices and employers. I think the skills landscape can be quite a daunting and an ever-changing landscape. We work in it full time, and trying to keep up with everything that's going on is a bit of a challenge. So I really have a lot of empathy with potential apprentices and employers, kind of about finding out what's going on and what's available. So yeah, we're really keen to kind of talk to both parties and share what's going on.
Well, it's exciting if even you can't keep up with it. It means it's really moving.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's all good. It's a real positive thing. There are lots of changes. You know, we're on the verge now of launching foundation apprenticeships as well, another kind of, or a new initiative from the government. Essentially apprenticeship that's kind of reduced in term down to about 8 months. And we're looking at potentially doing some of those in some of the traditional trades as well, which will really help to kind of draw people in and offer further progression opportunities into normal apprenticeships or other things as well.
And so you mentioned net zero, you mentioned sort of green technology. I guess there are really technical high-level roles in this sector. Just as much as there's being out on site, maybe those who don't want to be in an office, laying the bricks, etc., not being in an office. I suppose it's a real breadth of roles available, right? I just wonder if I'm looking to try and get into any of these roles, is there like a one-size-fits-all application process, or does it change across the board?
I think it's fair to say it changes. Construction sector is a little bit different to a lot of other sectors as well. Kind of personal relationships seem to really come into play in terms of getting jobs. So quite often we'll be speaking to somebody who'll say, I've been offered an opportunity with my uncle or my dad's mate. So utilising kind of personal connections is something we really kind of advocate for and encourage you to use your own network. There are kind of more traditional routes into apprenticeships as well. So checking the South Devon College website for apprenticeship vacancies is a great idea. The government website also lists all apprenticeship vacancies. So any vacancy, and you can do loads of filtering down to kind of find what you're looking for and make sure that it's somewhere that's accessible to you, that you can get to, find out rates of pay, all of those good things. So yeah, there are lots of ways into an apprenticeship, but I'd first and foremost encourage you to kind of come along to one of our open evenings. At that point, you get all the information. You get an opportunity to come along to one of our Ignite My Apprenticeship conversations, where we really kind of focus in on the steps that you can take to get an apprenticeship.
I think the work experience that people do through school also helps quite a lot. The apprentices that we have at the start of the year that may have forged those links literally through their work experience at school. So they come in, they've been out with a company, they've had a great time, the company's impressed with them, and they offer it from there. So through the work experience, that's a good route.
Good tip.
Mike, bricklaying, am I right in hearing that there's not enough bricklayers out there, therefore they're getting paid a lot of money?
Yeah, they do get paid a lot of money. So obviously they've got to be at a set standard where they can lay bricks and blocks which are plumb, level gauge, and nice and neat and clean. But the money's mad. It is mad. So at 19 years old, they can be earning £300 a day if they're working hard. Sometimes even more than that. So it's one of those jobs where the more you do, the more you get paid. So there's not many industries like that, but certainly for brickwork, it is very productive. So
it's about speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
The more you do, the more you get paid, like you say.
Yeah. So if you're getting 80p a brick, and if you're laying however many you can do, it's mad.
Wow. And let's talk about a specific example, because we are actually going to be doing a podcast with Mia, who got into bricklaying through, I think, one of your courses. Yep. Could we just maybe talk through her journey of what she thought when she started interacting with you and where she got to?
Yeah, so Mia came to us straight from secondary school. I actually met her during a open event, and she came over and said, look, I'm really interested in bricklaying. So we got chatting, and she had done a lot of research. She had watched stuff on YouTube. She knew the jobs of a bricklayer, and Yeah, she came straight in to do our level 1 diploma course, and she flew from there, like natural talented, really, really good straight away. So she did our level 1. We talked about apprenticeships at that point, but she thought that she wanted to do some more experience at college. I think she may have been a bit nervous about being a female going into a male-orientated job role, that she really wanted to know her stuff before going out. So she did the level 2 diploma and excelled in that. And at the end of that, she got onto our apprenticeship program. So she did a 3-year brick apprentice. Yeah, she's amazing. So she's one of the most talented bricklayers that we've had through in a number of years. The work that she can do is unbelievable. She does some really, really intricate design work, archways, curved stuff, radius stuff. We've left stuff up that she's built in the college that we can use to inspire other students. And then she went on to win Construction Apprentice of the Year this year. Wow. And she's now self-employed as a bricklayer.
Wow. So David from the council was talking about the regeneration of different buildings and repurposing buildings, etc. The Strand is one development that he was talking about that's going to be really exciting. So might Mia be getting involved in those sort of buildings, do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. The skill set that she's developed, although she's been doing lots and lots of new build work, but the skill set she's got now, she'll be able to go and work on any of our construction sites within the area as a self-employed bricklayer.
Amazing. So we've talked about the range of roles available in the sector. I guess, Ben, just looking at anything else you need to be telling us around what is changing in the skill sets, like the green economy we talk about, technology coming into it, AI even. Yeah. What do we need to be thinking about in terms of the next step in construction?
I think it's just keeping half an eye on kind of that whole future scanning piece. I talked earlier about kind of digitalisation, so making sure that the skills that you're coming into construction with are wider than just understanding kind of how to use traditional trades. Sorry, I've gone off on a right tangent there.
That's okay.
It was going really well, wasn't it?
But for example, AI, is that coming into construction?
Absolutely, yeah. So we're seeing the emergence of AI. We're seeing all sorts of kind of BIM platforms that are kind of starting to arrive, and the skill set that's needed to kind of work alongside those is really changing. I think as a college, we've got work to do to kind of make sure that we're keeping pace with it, because the technology is moving so quickly. So we need to make sure that we're fully equipped to kind of deliver the training programs and work closely with employers to do that. We talked earlier about having those employer links. We really need employers to kind of want to work with us, because they are utilising these skills on a daily basis. We haven't necessarily got those sat within the college, so we're really keen to work closely with employers, really understand what those emerging needs are, and make sure that we're equipped to kind of deliver on them.
And we spoke a lot about school leavers coming from school into college. I understand that. I think we all do, because we all know education. We all went through it. But what about, I'm in my 30s. Let's say I'm in a job where I'm, let's say, I don't know, retail, where I just feel like it's not so exciting and growing maybe as construction. That's what I think about that. Could I still come to your college and like train up and get all the things we spoke about?
Yeah, absolutely. So, people often think of apprentices as school leavers. That's not true. Most of our apprentices, probably mid-20s, done exactly what you've said, or they've gone on to a job and they're like, okay, I really would like to do this. The opportunities are there. So it is common to be an adult apprentice, or you can upskill. We offer some adult only courses through the college, where they can come, and maybe it's a multi-trade where they can come and try all the different trades throughout the year and then focus on one of them. That's quite common. We offer masterclasses throughout the day, where you could come and do a kitchen fitting masterclass or a brickwork masterclass. It may be the fact that, like you say, you could be working in a retail job and you're thinking, do you know what, I would like to be a bricklayer, but I can't quite take that step. So come with us for, say, 6 months and do half a day a week, and we'll try and do some upskilling to get people ready for that. So there are opportunities out there.
And what we're finding as well, a lot of conversations with employers at the moment, they're looking for people with those transferable skills kind of at management level as well. So we've talked a lot about the kind of trades today, but actually there are a lot of people working in kind of mid-level management jobs that might feel a bit disillusioned with what they're doing. Some of the tier one contractors are really interested in kind of having conversations with those people that have a wealth of kind of knowledge and knowledge of management, leadership, managing through change, all of those kind of things that you could bring to the industry that will definitely be attractive.
Because I'm not from here, but there's a whole organisation called Build Torbay, if I'm looking into a sector that's probably going to be growing, it's probably the built environment, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And just to be clear, sorry, let's say I'm 30 years old, a little bit older than that, unfortunately, but would I, because maybe the funding stops, would I have to maybe pay towards the college courses?
No, so there are lots of complexities around funding, but from an apprenticeship perspective, you can be an apprentice at any age. You do need to make sure that you're kind of familiar with the wage that you're going to be getting paid, and there are some differences that exist there. But a lot of employers will be paying above the national minimum wage. They're really keen to kind of attract top talent, and so that's reflected in the rates of pay that exist. And yeah, there are all sorts of funding opportunities for all of the things that we've talked about this morning. So again, I'd really encourage anyone that's listening that thinks this might be something that I'm interested in, come along to one of our open evenings, speak to one of our experts. We'll talk to you about your specific circumstances and help to find a pathway into whatever it is you're potentially looking to do.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Okay, well, that sounds interesting. How frequently are the open evenings?
That's a great question. So I think we're holding them every 6 weeks, roughly at the moment, but they're advertised heavily on our own social media. So follow us on either LinkedIn or X, Instagram, and I think we're even on TikTok as well. So all of those channels will be advertising our regular open evenings. As I say, bit of a new format that's coming in the last year, where we're really kind of trying to immerse you in college life, go and see the curriculum areas, have a go at some of the activities that you'd be getting up to if you came to college.
No, I like it. I just want to come to both you gents individually, really, just to wrap up our session. Just, I'm not sure if you are local. You probably are. I just wonder, why should I be looking at construction versus maybe other sectors? I'm not sure if you have anything to compare it to, but me not being from here, I'd rather you say it in terms of, look, this is what the local towns are like. This is why this is a great opportunity. It'd just be nice to hear it from you, maybe Mike.
Yeah, I'd say we've got projects on the go all over the place. So yeah, we are Build Torbay and we are working in the Torbay area, but our employers cover the range of Devon, and they work on all sorts of projects. So there's some really interesting builds that they get involved in, whether that's in the South Ham, some huge 10, 15 million pound builds with unbelievable views, or whether you're on a site, locally. There's opportunities everywhere, and it is a very, very good place to be working. It's good.
Absolutely. I'm not from Torbay myself, but I'm an adopted son of Torbay. I love the place. I'm really passionate about it. I think it's a great place to work, and I think the construction industry is a fantastic one to be considering. Mike's already talked earlier about the kind of rates of pay that you could potentially be looking to attract. So there's some great opportunity to earn some great money. But more than that, it's the opportunities that are presented and the variety of work as well. No two days are the same in any form of construction job. So I think it's, if you're sat there thinking, is this for me? Absolutely, give it a go.
Yeah, I love it. Well, South Devon College seems the place to be for construction. Ben and Mike, thank you very much. And listeners, get down to one of their open evenings. I'm sure it's all on the website. So South Devon College, have a little Google and off you go. Good luck.
Thanks very much.
Thanks. Cheers.
Cheers.